I just wish people would stop making things up. Far be it from me to try to defend the F word or any other profane word. No profanity is good. I don't cuss. I don't use swear words, curse words. By the way, how I'm describing this, that's part of the problem. Profanity, cursing, cussing, swearing. The words that we use kind of messes things up a little bit. It kind of muddies the field up because we take these words and you know how some words can have the same word spelled the same way can mean something different. Well, that's what's happening in our English language, especially with the word curse or swear. And that's where this problem comes in. This brother who has said some weird, goofy things in the past before, things like having demons telling him to pray to God on their behalf, all sorts of things. And so he's not a trustworthy source. But listen to what he says about the F word. And again, I'm not a fan of the F word. And he makes a couple of good points, but his premise is incorrect. And he's really just making things up.
Using the F word, people, as you see, that word is being used more and more in every area of society. Every time someone uses that word, it releases a curse in the air.
Where do you get that from? Now, I'm saying also stop using the F word, but I'll use truth. I won't make something up. Using the F word releases a curse into the air. That's not biblical. As a matter of fact, the Bible tells us this. This is what Paul says. He says in 1 Corinthians 4:6, we use this all the time. We'll keep using this because it's always going to be necessary. He says, I have figuratively applied to myself and Apollos for your sakes. Here it is. So that in us you may have learned not to exceed what is written. Don't start making up stuff as you go. And this is what he's doing. To say that when you use the F word, you are releasing a curse into the air. He can't give a scripture because there is no such scripture as that. Now, we'll cover this issue about curses and so forth in just a little bit.
It also happens to be one of the main words that demons use when we cast them out because they are so frustrated, which should let you.
Why would a demon be so frustrated by you casting them out? If they're getting cast out all the time, then it might be old hat. But I don't think they're really frustrated by it. By the way, let me just go to this point about curse words before I forget about this. In Mark, it's given the account of Peter, who is denying Jesus 3 times. One of the words that's used here, and I've seen people kind of misunderstand this to think that he's using profanity. As he's denying them in verse 71 of chapter 14, he says, but he began to curse and swear, I do not know this man you are talking about. And some people will take this to mean that he is using profanity. He is not. He's just simply, in other words, bringing down a curse upon himself. If he's like, I swear to God that I'm not lying, cross my heart, hope to die, stick a needle in my, that kind of thing. He's not using profanity. And first of all, the profanity that he, if there was, and there was profanity then, but it's not what we would use. It would be different. And so I just want to bring that out. This is where some of the confusion comes in because we think that what he's saying here, this curse and swear, is that he's cursing in profanity. No, he's using curse words and swear words. No, he's not. He's cursing himself by swearing that this is true, what I'm saying, when in all actuality, it's a lie.
Let you know where that word comes from. All words have an origin, and that word originated from satanic dwellings, which we call hell. So, hey, there are plenty of other words you can use when you are frustrated. Stop using that word because it places a curse over you, your household, as well as the people and situations that you use it on.
Now, I agree there's plenty of words that you can use. Don't use that word. But using that word does not place a curse over you, nor does it place a curse over anyone else. Let's just look at what the word curse means. Let's go to the Old Testament and let's look at this word curse. There are 2 words. The first word that we'll see is the word kalal. It just means to curse. It doesn't actually explain what it is in Genesis 8, but in Genesis 12, we see this. He's the same word that's used is arar, and that means to think lightly or to esteem lightly, to view lightly in a negative sense, to believe so in a negative sense about someone. That's what it is. And to treat someone that way. And so if you think someone to be esteemed lightly in your eyes, doesn't really matter if I do it or you do it, if there's no real power. If God does it, if God pronounces a curse, well, that's different. Depending upon who pronounces the curse actually matters. If God pronounces a curse, then there's nothing you can do about it unless God determines to break the curse or take the curse away. If I pronounce a curse on you, doesn't do anything, right? If someone who has no power has no ability to curse you, then it doesn't matter. They can just, it's just words. Now, this issue about you being cursed and there being a curse over you, there are no more curses, at least generational, and you can't pronounce. You don't have the ability to. You can esteem someone lightly. You can esteem someone, you can view someone in a negative sense, but there is no curse that's going to stay upon you because we know God is not doing so. We know that in Jeremiah 31, where he says that proverb where the children's teeth are set on edge because the fathers ate grapes. So because what the father did, it's going to also accrue to the children. Well, that's been broken. That's done away with. Can you do something that can bring negative consequences to yourself? Sure. Or to your family? Sure. But in terms of you saying something and then that brings a curse upon you, the question, who pronounces that curse upon you? A demon? Where in the scriptures do demons curse us? They don't. Where in the scriptures does it say that these bad words is going to cause God to curse you? It doesn't. So he's making things up. This is another reason why, and I think it's Lionheart Ministries or something like that. There's someone that you just simply don't need to listen to. He doesn't know what he's speaking of. And every time he makes these little videos, he proves it.